Welcome to the amazing adventures of Buboy, the sun-kissed 12-year-old boy who calls the shores of Panay Island home. But today, we're not just hanging out at the beach or exploring the reef, no, sirree. Today's episode of Buboy Chronicles is all about those pesky chores and a mysterious golden ship that comes calling. So hang on tight, because this adventure has more twists and turns than a game of hide-and-seek with Dodong. Let me set the scene. We're talking early morning, sun just peeking over the horizon and casting the beach in this warm, golden light. Perfect time for a swim, right? Wrong. Not if your name is Buboy, Neneng, or Dodong. Because let me tell you, these kids have more chores to do than days in a week. And their mom, Nanay Gloria, is stricter than a crab on a mission. Buboy was a sun-kissed boy of 12, with skin bronzed by years of playing under the blazing Aklan sun. His hair was a wild tangle of black curls, often dripping with seawater after long hours of diving like the Bajau fishermen he admired. His hands were rough from climbing coconut trees, and his feet calloused from running barefoot on the hot sand. Every morning before the chores began, Buboy would dive into the clear blue waters, his small frame cutting through the waves like a fish. His siblings, Neneng and Dodong, would often join him. Neneng, the fearless older sister who could climb trees faster than any boy, and Dodong, the expert fisherman who could hold his breath underwater longer than anyone in the village. One such morning, as they splashed in the shallows, their Nanay Gloria's voice cut through their laughter like a whip. Well, as you can imagine, the joyful splashes turn into panicked flailing. These kids scramble out of the water faster than crabs on a hot griddle. Nanay Gloria, let me tell you, is a force of nature. Her frown can kill, and her swats pack a punch that would make a grown man cry. Buboy! Neneng! Dodong! Didn't I tell you to stop playing and do your chores? The three froze. Nanay Gloria stood at the shore, hands on her hips, her frown deep enough to scare even the crabs back into their holes. The children scrambled out of the water, dodging her swats as she chased them up the beach. Climb the trees, dry the copra, catch fish for dinner, no more swimming until the work is done, she scolded. So they hightail it out of there. Neneng heads for the woods to gather firewood, Dodong checks the fish traps. And Buboy, well, he heads for the coconut grove. Now, you gotta understand, chores are chores, and these kids take them seriously. But sometimes, just sometimes, the beach is just too darn tempting. You know what I mean? And as Buboy starts scaling the palm trees, I want you to picture this. The sun hangs low in the sky, casting golden hues everywhere. And there's this beautiful contrast between the rough bark of the trees and the shiny coconuts. It's a perfect scene, but our boy Buboy isn't done yet. The sun hung low, casting golden hues as Buboy climbed the towering palms. He gripped the rough bark, wrapping his legs around the trunk with practiced ease. At the top, he sliced the ripe coconuts free with his bolo, letting them thud onto the soft earth below. Once the harvest was done, he gathered the coconuts near the riverbank. He selected long, sturdy vines, weaving them into tight knots to bundle the coconuts together. With a final tug to test the strength, he tossed the tied bundle into the river, letting the current carry it. Holding on to the guiding rope, he walked alongside the floating cargo, leading it toward the shore where the family would dry the husks for copra. As the sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in deep oranges and purples, Buboy is almost done when suddenly he spots something strange at the corner of his eye. It's a golden light flickering just beyond the tall trees at the edge of the beach. A golden light flickered at the edge of his vision. He turned. Out at sea, where the waves crash against the jagged cliffs, a golden ship is gliding silently toward the rocks. It looks like something from a fairy tale, all shimmering sails and ethereal glow. But what's really catching Buboy's attention is the deck of the ship. It's pulsing with this eerie golden light like it's alive or something. Now, you'd think Buboy would jump into action, right? Shout for his family, grab his net, and try to catch the ship before it disappears. But you know what? He freezes. He's mesmerized by the sight before him, unsure of what to do. And just when he's about to snap out of it, a hand clamps onto his shoulder. Buboy nearly jumps out of his skin. He whirled around. He whirls around, and there he sees Tatay Pilo, their neighbor, a storyteller of the island, grinning at him with those twinkling eyes of his. Easy, boy, Tatay Pilo chuckles, his voice like the rustling of palm leaves. Didn't want to scare you. Tatay Pilo, Buboy breathes. relief washing over him. "You scared the banka out of me." Tatay Pilo's leathery face crinkles like dried coconut husk. He too is staring at the golden ship. His eyes, though, are sharp and intense, locked onto the vessel as if he's reading its every move. "So you've seen it too," he murmurs, breaking the silence. "What is it?" Buboy whispers back, his eyes wide with wonder. Tatay Pilo's grip tightened. "Not here. Let's get these coconuts to your nane first. Then I'll tell you a story." He grabs Buboy's hand and pulls him away from the riverbank and towards the old wooden boat moored on the shore. "Now, I'm not going to lie to you. This moment is pure suspense. The golden ship, the mysterious Tatay Pilo, the flickering light, it's enough to give you goosebumps. But remember, this is the amazing adventures of Buboy, and in our hero's journey, things rarely stay calm for long. Just as Buboy and his Tatay Pilo reach the boat, a sudden commotion erupts from the forest. Out come Neneng and Dodong, their faces etched with worry. "Tatay!" Dodong calls out, rushing toward Tatay Pilo. "We saw the ship too. What should we do?" Tatay Pilo turns, his gaze as steady as the North Star. "Don't worry, anak. We're going to see what this is all about. But first, you two, go help Buboy secure the raft." As Dodong and Neneng rush to help Buboy, Tatay Pilo steps back into the boat. But just when the suspense becomes too much to bear, when the questions pile up and the mystery seems to have no end, Tatay Pilo speaks. "All right, boy," he says, his voice firm but kind. "It's time to tell you something." But he's not thinking about the sea or the waves. "There," he says, pointing towards the ship. "That light, it's coming from there." Buboy follows Tatay Pilo's finger and focuses on the golden light. Suddenly, it hits him. He remembers a story his grandmother told him about magical islands and mystical ships that only appear to those who are pure of heart. Could this be one of those islands? His entire focus is on that mesmerizing golden light dancing on the horizon. What does it mean? Why did it appear? And most importantly, what should they do about it? As the mystery deepens, so does the adventure. As they approach the shore, Buboy can't help but steal glances at the receding golden ship. Will it return? And if it does, will they be ready? And that, my friends, is where we'll leave off for today's episode. And you, dear viewers, are right there with Buboy, experiencing every splash of the oars in the water, every gust of wind in the sails, and every flicker of light on the ship's deck. The golden ship, the mysterious island, and the anticipation of what's to come next. But don't worry, our adventurers are on the case. And when next we see them, who knows what new discoveries await them on their tropical paradise. Until then, keep those imaginations diving, keep those dreams sailing, and keep those stories alive. And if you're loving these adventures as much as we're having fun making them, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing adventures of Buboy. Who knows, you might just find yourself part of the crew. For now, though, it's time to say goodbye. But remember, the spirit of adventure never fades. Keep it alive and you'll always have a story to tell.